While the Walt Disney Company is trying to play catch-up to Universal and destroying beloved attractions in the process, Universal is already beginning to expand on their newest theme park, Epic Universe. While we don't know exactly what is coming to Orlando's newest theme park, ground is already being cleared for Phase 2 of Epic Universe. Could it be Zelda? Could it be Luigi's Mansion? What about Lord of the Rings or even Wicked? Maybe. But my idea for what Universal should do would tap into nostalgia and take us on a nice little stroll down memory lane. But before we get into it, if you're enjoying the content, please hit that like and subscribe buttons and even click the notification bell, and let's get into it. When Universal built Epic Universe, they clearly did so with every intention of expanding the park in the future. The way they designed the park with the different portals and lands left plenty of room for future portals to be added somewhere down the line. However, I don't think anyone expected them to start with a second phase expansion this quickly. Now, Epic Universe has only been open for a few months, but the feedback so far has been, for the most part, positive. A theme park the size and scope of Epic Universe is bound to have some bugs in the system until they get everything worked out smoothly, but for the most part, people have been enjoying their time in Epic Universe. So it would be easy for Universal to just sit on their hands and just ride that out. But there seems to be no slowing them down, as they have already started clearing land for a potential expansion, either to an existing area or to create a brand new one. There have been a lot of rumors about a Luigi's Mansion dark ride attached to Super Nintendo World, or even something related to Zelda, seeing as how there are references to The Legend of Zelda throughout Super Nintendo World. And while both of these things would be great ideas, as they're both very popular, especially a Luigi's Mansion dark ride, because the park is in desperate need of some more indoor rides for when the weather takes a turn for the worse. My idea for an expansion would be a whole new portal and a whole new land altogether. Something that taps into our nostalgia and something that brings us back to another time, back when Universal Studios first opened. Yes, my idea for the next expansion to Epic Universe would be a retro portal that transforms us back into the time of the opening of Universal Studios. Now, I will admit I am not the smartest guy in the world, nor am I an engineer, or will I ever pretend to be anyone who would understand the logistics of how to make this happen. I'm just throwing my idea out there. But could you imagine stepping through a portal that takes you back to the 90s and gives us new and updated versions of opening day attractions from Universal Studios? The child in me yearns for something related to Back to the Future. Give me something related to Jaws. Give me Earthquake. Give me a proper King Kong ride, and not that Skull Island garbage 3D screen that's no longer 3D motion simulator crap sitting at Islands of Adventure. I would absolutely love an updated version of Kong Frontation. Universal has been very forthcoming with their love of animatronics, and the stuff that they have put together for Epic Universe is some of the most incredible audio animatronics that you will find in any theme park or really anywhere at all. Give us that tram ride. Give us a giant King Kong animatronic. Give us actual big sets that get away from all the screens. I remember going on that ride as a kid and being terrified because it was all there. It was actual props and sets and special effects. It didn't rely on screens and motion simulators. You could smell it, you could feel it, and it was horrifying. Now, in the concept art for the Universal Park that is going up in the UK, it appears to have a Back to the Future roller coaster and a whole Hill Valley section. Maybe we don't need a roller coaster in Florida, but maybe just the clock tower and a meet and greet with Marty and Doc. We already have the DeLorean and the train in Florida. Move them over there, give them a dedicated meet and greet. Or hell, if it's successful over in the UK, build a roller coaster here. Why not? If it works, why not do it? I have a very special place in my heart for the Jaws franchise. Jaws is one of my favorite movies of all time, and I know the logistics of having a ride, as evident by when Universal first opened the Jaws ride, it did not work. the first iteration of that ride was a failure and they had to change it up. And I know water rides and animatronics, water and machinery don't mix, but there have been some impressive boat rides with new technology lately. Give us another Jaws ride. There has to be a way to make that work now with modern technology. And, you know, as far as riding the movies, which I know is not Universal's real tagline anymore, what better way to bring back the nostalgia than bringing back that killer shark? Please, please give me a new Jaws ride. Universal has made it clear over the past few years that these franchises are still popular because they are incorporating them into their parades and their nighttime shows, and it looks like they may even be bringing Ghostbusters back to Universal Studios and refurbishing the Firehouse once they take down Hollywood Rip Ride Rocket. I think this would be a great idea for older people such as myself who were kids when Universal opened and got to experience those classic attractions, and I think it would be a wonderful way to maybe reintroduce or introduce some of those franchises to a younger generation who didn't get to grow up with them. Now, to pull this off, it would have to probably go into whichever is the biggest expansion plot at Epic Universe, but I think this is something people would love. I know myself, those rides just hit different back in the day, and while the technology over the last 15 years or so saw a lot more screen-based rides and motion simulators, I think I would enjoy rides that were more practical, that used special effects and didn't rely on screens to convey everything. If they could do it back then, they most certainly can do it now, and they could do it even better. So what do you guys think? Do you think this is something people would go for? Do you think hitting people in the nostalgia berries would get people excited? I'd love to hear what you guys think. Please leave a comment below. Let's discuss it and maybe come up with some ideas. If you've got some ways to expand or tweak what I was thinking about, I'd love to hear it. And as always, thank you guys for spending time with me, and I'll talk to you all later. Bye-bye.